Welcome everybody to Diaspora Wire TV. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you to our old and new subscribers, and thank you to liking and disliking our videos on Facebook as well as our YouTube channel. We really do appreciate it. Okay, so let's get into our first story. Obiang Mangue, who is the Vice President of Equatorial Guinea, was hit with anti-corruption charge or sanctions against the UK government due to his lavish spending, his lavish lifestyle, and the capacity as a government official. Now, let me give you the backstory of the Obiang Mangue empire, or the government of Equatorial Guinea. So the father is the sitting president of Equatorial Guinea, and he took power in 1979 and has been ruling the country ever since for over 40 years. Now, he took independence after Equatorial Guinea got their independence. He took power after Equatorial got their independence. Then 11 years ago, after they were colonized by the Spanish, by Spain. And so in 2012, he appointed his son, Obiang Mangue, as the vice president of Equatorial Guinea. Yes. And he also has another son who is called Gabriel Obiang, who is also the Minister of Mines and Hydro, if I'm not mistaken, it is hydrocarbons. So as you can see, Equatorial Guinea is supposed to be a democracy, but however, it is ran and operated as a dictatorship, a totalitarian government, and a monarchy. Because I guarantee you, if the president of Equatorial Guinea dies, Obiang Mangue, who is accused and charged with anti-corruption charges with sanctions, would be the president of Equatorial Guinea. So let's move on. So the UK government is accusing him of misappropriating millions of dollars. Let me bring up my screen for you all so you can see the article that came out. So UK sanctions Equatorial Guinea's leader's son over lavish lifestyle spending. Now, this is Africa. This is where public funds go to, and this is why so many people complain about Africa being destabilized. But you have to also look into not just being destabilized by the West and the Western powers, but there is also a contributing factor to how it is destabilized by African leaders like Obiang, who are corrupt and are making back deals with the people's money, with taxpayers' money, and not putting it back into the economy. Okay, so the UK accused him of misappropriating millions of dollars spent on luxury mansions, as well as private jets. And get this, he also purchased $275,000 Michael Jackson glove, you know, the crystal glove that Michael Jackson wore on his Bad tour. Obiang Mangue purchased it. The vice president of Equatorial Guinea purchased this crystal covered glove that Michael Jackson wore on his Bad tour. Yeah. That's the vice president of Equatorial Guinea for you. This is what he's doing. Very, very scrupulous, right? So let's get to the photographs right here. So very lavish. He likes to bling bling as a government official in a government capacity, which you are supposed to serve the public in your capacity, and you have all this lavish lifestyle and spending, which makes no sense as to where you're getting this money from. Okay, so purchase the glove, and then the foreign secretary of the UK said Mangue participated in corrupt contracting arrangements and soliciting bribes to find a lavish lifestyle or to fund a lavish lifestyle inconsistent with his official capacity. So here you will see that among these collection of cars, there's more to this story. There's more to it. Among these collection of cars, Obiang, he purchased $100 million mansion in Paris. Okay. $38 million private jet. Okay, this is the glove that I was telling you all about in regards to Michael Jackson that he purchased at auction for $275,000. Crazy. Okay, beautiful woman he likes. I think this is actress on one of the celebrity shows in the United States. So, you know, I guess this is where he spends his time. So $38 million in a private jet, a luxury yacht, dozens of luxury vehicles that I just showed you all previously before. This is one of the luxury vehicles. These vehicles included Ferraris, Bentleys, Aston Martin collection of luxury vehicles. Now, that's not it. These luxury vehicles were confiscated by the Swiss authorities back in 2016. And in 2019, they were auctioned off and it accumulated millions of dollars in sales, right? So here's my argument with the Swiss authorities. I hope that the money that they auction off the cars with went back into the people of Equatorial Guinea, because if he is funding his lifestyle within the framework of his position as the vice president of Equatorial Guinea, then that money should go back to the people of Equatorial Guinea. Put it in some type of funding, put it in some type of social programs. If you're talking about, you're talking about Ferraris, Bentleys, Aston Martins. These are the most expensive cars in the world. And I pray that this money not just kept in the Swiss authorities' bank accounts, but also being put back into the people who more than likely tax money was probably a part of those backdoor deals that the vice president was doing. Okay, so let's get back. So there's more to this. We're just getting started. So let's move on. So there's also, in 2017, Obiang was convicted by a French court for corruption and served 3 years in jail after prosecutors accused him of embezzlement of public funds and money laundering. Okay, so that was back then. That was in 2017. Money laundering of public funds. Public funds. This is the vice president of Equatorial Guinea. More to come after this. 2018, Brazilian police seized millions of dollars in cash along with luxury watches, along with his delegation. And the Brazilian authorities, they went on the tarmac, they stopped the plane and searched his private aircraft in Sao Paulo in Brazil. And they seized millions of dollars in cash, as well as luxury watches, a collection of luxury watches. I mean, what kind of vice president deals with that? This man sounds like a gangster. This man sounds like he's just living off of public funds. And this is not good. This is actually an embarrassment for African leaders and African leaders' sons and dictators' sons who go around and pocket the money of hardworking people that's supposed to circulate into the economy. And so, now he's being charged with anti-corruption sanctions on him for his lavish lifestyle as a public servant. You know, this is totally against what a public servant is supposed to be. It's not about serving yourself. It's about serving the people. Okay. So like I said, his father took power in 1979 in a coup. But the country, now the country was rich in oil at one point. The country was very rich in oil. And when they were rich in oil, they had vast oil reserves. And however, today, more than 76% of the population is in poverty. As well, Equatorial Guinea, according to UNESCO, has the highest adult literacy rate out of 1.4 million people. That's an average of 95%. So you can imagine the literacy rate in Equatorial Guinea is just been it's probably the worst in Africa. And it's so unfortunate because you have African leaders like dictator sons and African leaders who pocket money out of the people, out of public funding. They get money from the IMF. They get money from all these different foreign banks. They put money into the country. And when they do that, what do the leaders do? They pocket it, and then they only play favoritism and nepotism to their families and to the clique of people that's around them that continues to keep them in power. Now, like I was saying earlier, I know there's a lot of people's arguments in regards to Africa and destabilization and how former colonial powers and colonial masters destabilize Africa. This is true. It still happens. France is still deeply embedded in many Francophone countries, and people are still paying colonial tax. But at the same time, it doesn't make it justifiable when African leaders are given finances from international monetary funds, from different foreign banks, to help them increase and grow their economy so there can be a middle class in Equatorial Guinea, like there is a middle class in certain other African countries that help balance out the economy. But when you pocket money and then you cry about colonial powers suppressing you, but you are suppressing your own people, how are you doing this? By pocketing money, putting it in Swiss bank accounts for later on. So when your presidency is over, or if you choose to have your presidency over, you can retire. You can retire with billions of dollars. Many African presidents have done this, and it has been documented. You can go research it and check it out. I don't need to make this up to make a point. But the point I am making is that if you are going to be an African leader in the future, do not look to this man, Obiang Mangue. And I hope he continues to have anti-corruption sanctions against him. I know that the UK government has seized money. I know that the Swiss authorities has seized money, but that money should also go back to Equatorial Guinea and to those people for social programs, for those people who can have and live the basic necessities: food, water, shelter, clothing, good education, things of that nature. Just wanted to bring this to you all's attention, that this is a perfect example of how African leaders are mistrusted, and this is why people have agitations. This is why people protest. This is one of the realities, just one of the many realities in Africa that a lot of people face. Now, I'm not saying all Africa is corrupt, but with this particular individual, the vice president of Equatorial Guinea, spending money, this is spending public money, public funds that could go back to social programs. So don't cry and don't be spoiled and whine and say that, oh, you're destabilizing Africa, when African leaders are helping to destabilize their own people in their own country. I bid you all a peaceful night.